Hello and welcome back, YouTube. Well, that was a lot different than I expected it to go in so many different ways. So let's get this started. It's still Friday, July 14th, 2023. I'm standing in front of the Phoenix Municipal Court building. Just finished up everything I had to do with court, along with a couple different consultations with my attorney, whose name is Mr. Tinker. You know, and I think I said his name off the sheet, but yeah, today's the first time I finally met with him. By the way, looking to break some kind of temperature records today. It's 113 out right now. It actually doesn't feel too bad standing right here, but it's nice and shady right here. So as I said, it's just about 3 o'clock, and trying to handle I got everything put in my notebook here. I have yet to read the police report, but from what my attorney said, it's a doozy. So can't wait to read the lies that that fat ass security guard. See how what he told the police. It's just really shitty that the police listened to what he said, took enough of what I said to feel like I had somehow admitted that I did something wrong, other than simply defending myself and using a publicly accessible resource that they had, trying to use a publicly accessible resource that I had within my reach. I mean, that's what I was trying to do, is get on a Lime scooter, just like that. That's all I was trying to do. And if that guy would have just ignored me, within 30 seconds, I would have been gone. But anyway, some security guards are just ridiculous. And I think it was May, I encountered not one, but two of them that were just overzealous and ridiculous. That's, but at least when the one tried to make a big deal about the fact that I was taking video, I had a camera out at the Fry's, he pretty much was like, yeah, he can do that. And you need to leave him alone, dude. I can't help but think, that if there was actually a police officer present when all of this shit went down to the Costco, that this would have gone in a completely different way. Because, I was doing literally nothing wrong. And this guy basically was preventing me from leaving with my chosen mode of transportation. It would be the equivalent of me getting in my car and somebody saying, you need to walk away, you can't get in your car because you're trespassing. Fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so on a completely different note, there was when I went back, so I was in and out of the courtroom quite a few times, and it's kind of weird the way municipal courts work. And there's more to say about the court thing too, but I'll get to that after this, because this is a lot more entertaining, at least to me. So I'm back in the courtroom. When I told my attorney what actually transpired, gave him my side of the story, which is pretty on point, and I've been pretty consistent about it, as I've been talking about on this vlog. And let's not forget, I shot a vlog and posted it long since ago, posted it to YouTube, of me walking to the scooter. And there was just, no signs, no obstructions, whatever. I'm walking to a publicly available for-rent scooter at a publicly available, is it on private property? Of course it is. But still, publicly available bike rack. I'm exercising freedom of motion and commerce. Like, if they don't want people there, it's really on them to surround that area with a fence and close it off. And if they don't want people approaching those scooters, again, on them to remove them from the premises. because people are going to approach them wherever they happen to be lying down, like that spin scooter lying down on the sidewalk. So, by the way, I'm entering Patriot Square right now. I was going through images and stuff on my iPhone the other day, and I noticed that I have a really good picture, not one I took myself, but one I downloaded, and I was glad I chose to keep it, of what Patriot Square looked like before all this development was here, and something that was kind of a Phoenix point of pride kind of thing, and nothing against what's here. What's here is good, but it's just, there's so many other places that could have been commercially developed, and Phoenix got rid of an entire square block of City Park to have this tiny bit of green space, which I'm not even sure if it's public. This might be private. It's really hard to tell. But what was here before was a public park with a public amphitheater. And a place for a public snack bar, or for a private snack bar to operate. Although I can't say that I ever saw that snack bar open. I miss the old Patriot Square. It's kind of fun walking through here now. I don't know that I've used that catwalk yet, and it is pretty neat how they pedestrianized this block of Central. I wonder if I can get through walking this direction, or if I need to go up and over. I don't know. I'm just ready to get some shade, and I can already feel my phone. I'm using Obamaphone 3, of course. I can already feel my phone getting brutally hot in my fingers. Just trying to overheat from being in the sun. All right, there's a directory of Cityscape. That's this development. Learn more about it at cityscapephx.com. And nope. I wish there was a way to walk through. I wish a lot of these places, these pedestrian cut-throughs in the blocks that get you away from the city streets, which to me are much more pleasant to walk on than a city sidewalk. I wish more of them were covered. Those stairs are like right out in the sun. Although there's an escalator over here. Maybe I can go up that. Yes, this is nice. Got a shaded escalator here. I don't know that I've ever used this. So anyway, at one point I go back into the courtroom, and I'm forgetting exactly what preceded this. I think this was after I met with him. I ended up meeting with him twice. At one point, he met with me, and I'll go into more details of that after I leave. Wow, look at the color on that bike. I sure hope the camera is catching the way it changes colors as I change angles on it. That is one of the coolest looking bikes I've ever seen. It's kind of weird how it only has one gear though. Man, if that thing was a 15 speed or even a 10 speed, that would be really amazing. But wow, what a cool looking bike. Never seen a paint job anything like that on a bike before. I got escalators on this side as well. I don't know why I've never used these escalators before. I guess I've just always gone up and over the stairs. I do wish there's a way to just go through it at ground level, but this is cool. And there's businesses and stuff up here. This place smells good. Phoenix Bourbon Room. Sure, it's way out of my price range. In fact, I had said I wanted to get dinner at the Andre House today, but at this point it's too late. To go to the Human Services campus and actually talk to somebody at DES regarding my benefits there. So rather than hang out over there and sweat, I'm sure none of the places are going to be comfortable over there. I'm actually headed over to Taco Bell Cantina because I can get a happy hour drink and get a few burritos and after that I'll head back to my car and head home. I really should get some more sleep. I'm rolling on all of about 3 hours sleep. My job from this morning, by the way, at she's gorgeous. My job from this morning, by the way, has been confirmed for HelloFresh delivery. So, wow, I ended up only working 3.5 hours. I did have a half-hour unpaid break, and you know what? Still fine. Like 3.5 hours, and I'm getting paid over $70 for that. So, wow, yeah, more super quick, easy money gigs would be nice. Although you know the 171 that I get for a HelloFresh shift is so much better. But I'm really feeling confident. I'm about halfway to paying my rent right now. Well, I mean, once those payments post, just a wee bit over halfway to paying my rent. So that's pretty awesome. It's the 14th of the month. You know, usually I like to evaluate where I'm at the 15th. Now, granted, I do have a very big credit card payment coming up with Wells Fargo, but I think I can negotiate that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I really was wanting to talk about what'll happen in court, and I'll go into the details of my court proceedings on the next video after I leave Taco Bell Cantina. But the funny thing, and I think this was after my second meeting with the attorney. I go back into the courtroom. He goes, well, there's some stuff you need to listen to in the courtroom. And he goes, and I'll talk with you in a bit. I mean, he was representing a bunch of people that were there, at least 4 in addition, or 3 in addition to me, and possibly more. Wow, my phone is getting crazy hot again. Oh, finally some shade. You know, I wish there was just shade over all the sidewalks in Phoenix, because it's amazing, like with it being 114 out, it's amazing how much more comfortable it is right here in the shade versus when I'm walking in the sun. It's amazing how much of a dramatic difference it makes when it gets this hot and the sun is shining like it is. And as I predicted, that cloud cover is gone. Oh yeah, there's just tiny hints of clouds in the sky at this point, and it evaporated just like I thought it would. So anyway, I go back into the courtroom, and they're saying a lot of like general information stuff regarding, you know, taking pleas and what your rights are and what the maximum sentence could be. You're all here on class 1 misdemeanors and maximum sentences, blah, 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 blah. They were talking about ways to close your record. And I'm wondering if, like, the fact that I have this ongoing thing right now, if that's what's making my background checks take so long, which is really screwed up, because, you know, innocent until proven guilty. So why should it, you know, how can it even be legal for background checks to be even including this case before there's been a disposition of it? And for that to cause delays that affects my employment, it just seems like it just seems so wrong on so many levels. But anyway, I go back into the nice to see some people actually walking up there. That courtyard up there is usually just completely dead. I always wonder what it would be like to live in one of these kind of residences. Somehow I don't know. Part of me thinks I'd really dig it, and part of me thinks I'd really hate it. I do know one thing. It would not be pleasant to be hauling all my karaoke equipment from a location like that down to my car and back, compared to just out the back door and into the car. Karaoke tomorrow night again at Royal Lounge. I haven't heard from Joyce whatsoever, so I figure with a bar manager like that, no news is good news. So, and she does have my number. She's called me before. She's texted me before. So she does know how to get a hold of me if she feels the need to. And apparently she doesn't. So I'm just going to stay the course on that. So anyway, sorry, I just keep getting sidetracked thinking of other stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so I walk back in and I hear a bunch of that stuff, and I kind of wish I would have recorded that, because at one point she was talking about like sealing the record, which would affect background checks, I think. Although I don't believe any records are ever thoroughly sealed, because everything is on the internet and then everything just gets archived elsewhere. So even if it's sealed at the Phoenix City Court records level, it doesn't mean that that information's not already out there and in the databases of some background checking agency. This stuff has really made life dystopian to me. Just saying. Oh, by the way, I texted my HR representative hours ago at Pro Logistics regarding the job that I was hired for like a week and a half ago, that I was supposedly supposed to start on Sunday. Oh, we'll get you started right away. And it was, front half nights, Sunday through Wednesday, 10-hour shifts, a warehouse. I believe it was a warehouse. I don't know, somewhere reasonable, somewhere between GYR3 and the zone in that area, which is totally where I kind of want to work. Like that's a doable commute for me, and it's doable by bus. Now look, everything was good about that job. And I believe it was, I don't think it was a forklift operator job, but it was definitely the kind of warehouse job that I would be content with, and the pay was on point and the benefits were on point. But yeah, background check. It'll take 36 to 48 hours, 48, 36 hours. It'll be done in about 2-3 days. Get you to work on Monday. Well, on Monday, she texted me to let me know that we were still waiting for the background check, and I haven't heard from her all week. I forget her name. Anyway, I texted her back right as I was waiting to see my attorney after I got in the courtroom. Probably about 12:45. I still haven't heard back from her. So this is really reminiscent of that job that I was offered. I forget how long ago, but a job I was supposedly hired for, and of course that recruiter has gone completely silent with me as well. But it's different with Pro Logistics. Like, that's an agency that I'm all signed up with. But yeah, that shit's frustrating. Anyway, I'm trying to focus on the story about what happened in court. Sorry, I'm just so brain's going a million miles per hour in 12, 13 different directions. I keep wondering about the young, looking like homeless person sitting over there tapping on her cell phone off to the right. I'm not going to turn that way again because it's just getting awkward. But anyway, when I got into so I listened to the stuff, and I kind of wish I had. And you're not supposed to record anything in the building, so I've respected that, and I didn't. But boy, I would love to have all that stuff that she said regarding all the stuff that she said on paper. Like, I wish that disclosure was given rather than just being said on the record. I wish it was given on a piece of paper. I like paper. Granted, I'm not really good at keeping track of it, but I like paper. But after that, a woman comes up and they're reading the charges against her, and she'd already agreed to take a plea bargain. And there were two charges, and one of them, the one that caught my eye. And the funny thing is, she was standing up there with her public defender, I'm assuming, attorney, but most likely public defender. As she was standing there waiting for the judge to address her, I was thinking, God, she is freaking gorgeous. And she's wearing a half shirt and showing just absolutely amazing midriff, very dark skin, and just had her hair in like a afro puff, like single bun kind of thing above her head, and just definitely my type. And then I hear the charges, and one of the two charges was prostitution. Now, granted, from that distance, I can't see her very close, and she's facing away from me as I'm sitting in the back seats, the seats in the back of the courtroom, and she's facing the judge in the front of the courtroom. But after I was done with my bit of hearing, and man, I want to get some audio. I want to see if I can get an audio copy, because that stuff is all of record. Everything's kept, if not video recorded, always audio recorded, digital records. Generally, you have to pay for that, but I do want to go on on the City of Phoenix Municipal Court website and see what it would cost me to get that, because the way that the prosecuting attorney described what I did and said it as if it's factual and I did it was just so absolutely not what happened. Ridiculous. Anyway, once I was done, and she's like, well, if you can head into this room over here, and there's a room that's adjacent to the courtroom where there's like a clerk and a window and a little waiting area with some chairs, and I go in there, and the gorgeous dark-skinned woman showing absolute perfect midriff, who took a plea bargain for some kind of a diversion program that will drop the charges for prostitution. I was able to get a good close look at her, and I think I saw her while I was driving around on Wednesday night after I left Ain't Nick's. So, not 100% certain on that, but I got a feeling that this little bump in the road for her in court is not going to stop her from being out and doing her thing. So I want to try to keep my eye out for her when I'm out there, and if so, actually park and walk. Well, no, if you park and walk over to them, they get super sketchy. I've been there, done that. Pull over, and then when she leans in the window saying, "Hey, didn't I see you in court on Friday?" See what response I get. Because I'm convinced I've seen her. I'm convinced I saw her Wednesday night, and I'm pretty sure I've seen her before. That's not the kind of body I forget, and that's not a skin tone I forget either. Anyway, it's hot. I'm hungry. I'm also thirsty, so I'm going to pop into Taco Bell Cantina and get my happy hour drink and a couple burritos and read this police report. It's pretty thick. I can't wait to see what the hell's in there. Oh, and I guess I should say one more major thing that happened in court and why I ended up having a second little consultation before I actually had my hearing with my attorney. So the prosecuting attorney, and mind you, the prosecuting attorney did this before I ever met with my attorney, without any consultation with my attorney, and just based on apparently the contents of this police report, they've added 2 more charges. And I'm not sure offhand what those charges are because I didn't receive a copy of that. I didn't receive a copy of that motion, and I didn't even really look at it. I mean, the attorney just read what they were, but my memory being what it is, I don't remember exactly what they were. I do think it's a second assault charge, and I think a disorderly conduct. It seems like there was something else, but it seems like the judge said 2 additional charges, and it seemed like he read me 3 additional charges. Anyway, I want to read the motion. The written record of court is always a very important thing to me, and that's what's going to matter if I don't win at trial. And I really hope that before this goes to trial, that my attorney did say he's going to meet with the prosecuting attorney, and hopefully they can kind of discuss this and drop it. But I don't know. This prosecuting attorney looks young, and it looks like he's trying to make a name for himself by cracking down on criminals. Heaven forbid they actually crack down on the people that are, smoking drugs at the bus stop and dealing drugs in the open at the bus stop. I mean, how's this for some interesting law enforcement? How about an officer walk down Madison Street through the zone and make an arrest or a citation, at least, a criminal citation, in every tent where he can smell fentanyl coming out of it. Because those tents are not entering a private dwelling as the same as entering somebody's home. That's just basically the equivalent of sitting on the sidewalk. They're just wrapping themselves in something. They have no right to even be there. I don't know. The city's priorities are fucked. But anyway, so yeah, I'm facing additional charges now. I do have a bench trial set. I'm not entitled for a jury trial in this matter, but I do have a bench trial set for October 3rd, same courtroom, 10 a.m. That's way off in the future, but attorney did say he would try to get surveillance video from Costco, but he said that generally speaking that stuff's only kept for about 30 days, and this is well over 30 days ago. But At this point, it's a he said thing. Although, granted, there's going to be there were apparently some other employees. Now, I'm curious to see how much the security. I think the security guard is probably going to try and. He probably will participate in the prosecution. He seems like the overzealous kind that would want to do that. Then again, it's not time he's getting paid for, so maybe he won't. It would sure be amazing if we had a trial and none of the state's witnesses actually showed up. Because I've seen stupid things like this, trials for stupid things like this go that way. Anyway, I can speculate it a whole lot, but I've already wasted 25 minutes of time on what was a less than 10 minute walk. So I'm gonna go inside, give me a cold happy hour beverage and some burritos, and just see if I can figure out how to get that jukebox. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Rockbox app to work, so I can request songs on the music.